You are now listening to the Pelicans post-game report. Flash report.
The Pelicans are trading CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to the Washington Wizards for Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and the number 40 pick, his sources tell ESPN. What do we think, guys?
Well, I'm crunching a little numbers right now. I think for Washington, you get off Jordan Poole and Saddiq Bey had 2 years left on their contract. They take on the expiring contracts of CJ McCollum and certainly Kelly Olynyk. I look at it from the Wizards' perspective. It frees up a ton of playing time for their young players. They potentially could be a player in the summer of 2026 as far as where they go. The goal for Washington is to retain that pick also. That's important.
So last year, the Wizards were one of the worst teams in the history of the NBA through the first two-thirds of the season. They since have wanted to get grown-up veterans in there. They traded for Marcus Smart. They traded for Chris Middleton. Now they trade for CJ McCollum. They're clearly wanting those veterans to mentor their young players and maybe not be the worst team in the league anymore.
No, I'm with you. And I think the underrated part for us, the Pelicans, I know they get Jordan Poole, but Saddiq Bey, that's underrated, right? You watch around the league and we watch these NBA finals, and again, the most important position in the NBA is the wing position. So you get a guy that can shoot, he's hard-nosed, and I believe Troy Weaver had him
That's
down
exactly
there in
right.
Detroit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
We haven't seen him in a year because he's coming off that injury.
Right.
So Troy Weaver was in Washington. He took Joe Dumars' top lieutenant role in New Orleans.
All right. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all on this episode of PPR. Man, the Pelicans, a day before the draft tomorrow is the draft. Day one of the draft, first round. You know, the NBA has broken it up in 2 days. You got the first day on Wednesday, the second day on Thursday. PPR will be in the building for draft. Please join us. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the comment section, man, and let me know what you guys think about the trade. We've been waiting for the Pelicans. They did make a move. They acquired an extra first round pick earlier. What was it? Last month, the Pelicans did this month they acquired an extra first round pick, a 23rd pick in this draft. They still have the 7th overall pick. So the Pelicans have the 7th, they have the 23rd pick, and now they move assets around. 2 players, CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, really solid veterans with expiring deals get shipped to Washington for 2 assets to add to the Pelican squad, as we starting to see Troy Weaver, who I'm looking at as the general manager of the Pelicans, and Joe Dumars leading their vision into this upcoming season. Pelicans traded McCollum, Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to the Washington Wizards for Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and the number 40th pick in this Wednesday's coming up draft. This is according to Shams. He broke it down. And of course, what the article gets into, Poole to the veteran McCollum, who has an expiring contract. Washington is approaching $100 million in their cap space. They need a little help there. So the additions of Poole and Bey will help out. So the Pelicans hold the number 7, the number 23rd picks in this draft, and to go. Now they give up CJ McCollum, who's averaging over 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in 56 games for the Pelicans. So CJ McCollum is officially gone. Kelly Olynyk, who we picked up in a trade last year. A lot of people loved Kelly Olynyk's game. I was one of those people. Wasn't really happy about his acquisition previously, but loved his style of play with the Pelican system. He averaged 11 points a game, 6 boards, and 20 games for the Pelicans last season. So what we getting in Kelly Poole is, with Jordan Poole, is he led the Wizards in scoring last season, averaging 20.5 points per game to go along with it. Now Saddiq Bey, which is also an interesting character. He missed all of last season while recovering from a torn ACL. So we take a look at the contract breakdown via Sport Track, and you can see that Jordan Poole, what the contracts look like. Jordan Poole comes here. He has 2 years remaining on his current deal. He's 26 years old, 20-point scorer there. He's 31.8 plus million this year, and next year it goes 3 million more to 34 million, and then he's an unrestricted free agent in the 27-28 year. He's totally free. And of course, you look at Saddiq Bey, also a very good player who's 26 years old. Average, he's 6.1 mil on his contract, 6.4 and 26, and he's an unrestricted free agent in 27-28 for those two. And like I said, the stats to kind of look at it with Jordan Poole, as you can see here, 20.5 points a game, 30th in the NBA scoring there. As you can see, he's 30 rebounds, 4.5 assists, while shooting 43.2% from the field. 26-year-old former first-round draft pick. Y'all know he used to light it up for the Golden State Warriors. He hadn't been the same since Draymond Green punched the shit out of him at practice. Remember, he got traded out to Washington. So, could he have a reset here with the Pelicans, right? And of course, you look at his three-point shooting, because that's what we do. Last year with the Washington Wizards, he had his best three-point shooting percentage year. He averaged almost 38% from downtown, and he shoots 34.5% for his career. So he was terrific last year and had his best scoring output since the 22-23 year when he had 20 points a game. So we get that guy and plugging him into the system. And listen, let's not forget who the other player we're getting, Saddiq Bey, gritty defensive player with offensive game as well from Villanova. These guys are both two guys that are 26 years old. They're ready to compete. One's a guy that's a starter. One's could be a really good role player off the bench with defense and grit, with offensive game. Saddiq Bey, really smart player. We talked about acquiring him some time ago because we like his skill set. Thought that could help the Pelicans. He averaged almost 14 points a game on the previous season, 6.5 rebounds, 1.5 on the assist, and he shot 41.6% from the field. But when you start looking at what Saddiq Bey does in terms of shooting from downtown, he is 35.2% shooting from downtown, with his best year happening with the Hawks back in 22-23 when he shot 40%. 40%. His first year, he shot 38% from downtown. So you got a player who can play defense, can shoot the three-pointer, good size, can play a multitude of different positions for you. Very, very good addition. Good ad by Joe Dumars picking up Saddiq Bey, who also, guess what? With Troy Weaver, he's coming from that Detroit side of things. So you see Joe Dumars, Troy Weaver, reaching back to their roots on some of this. But Jordan Poole, getting Jordan Poole and Saddiq Bey, both of those guys coming to the Pelicans, that's going to be interesting to see how the Pelicans could do anything with that. Could Willie Green do anything with that? Could Willie Green take what they're putting together? And another thing, fam, to talk about it, we know that sidebar is that the New York Knicks want to interview James Borrego, who's the top assistant for Willie Green. A lot of talking points. Perhaps the Pelicans could add some more talent there, more valuable coaches to Coach Green's team. Perhaps if something would have happened to go wrong and Willie Green wouldn't make it, and Borrego is the coach or gets picked off the Pels, perhaps the Pels could do themselves a service and pick up some guys with former coaching experience that if Willie falls down, then this guy could step in and take over the team. We don't know, but potentially. Let's look at a potential depth chart, what it could possibly look like for the New Orleans Pelicans going into the 25-26 season. Of course, tomorrow we'll know who we got 2 first-round picks tomorrow, and we acquired a 40th pick in the second round. So the Pelicans got work on day 1 and day 2. This changes the philosophy of what we thought the Pelicans were going to do, right? They moved CJ, they moved Kelly. Now we got Jordan Poole and both Saddiq Bey on 2-year contracts. Listen, fam, these guys are going to be mixed in. Now, a potential starter, once they get healthy, we see DeJounte Murray, Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Zion Williams, and Yves Missi as it stands. Top reserves, Jose Alvarado, Jordan Hawkins, Herb Jones, right? Brandon Boston, and some of these other guys, we still incomplete here, but the Pelicans can add some more talent. They can definitely, we got Karlo Mekovic on the team. The Pelicans can add some size in the draft. Do they go with the big center Kaman from Duke? Do they go with Queen? Do they take a point guard there with Jeremiah Fears? Do they try to use both the first round draft picks and leap up into the top 5 and see if they can land somebody that we didn't think they were going after? The strategies changed a bit. Perhaps the Pelicans, with the acquisition of Poole and Saddiq Bey, maybe the Pelicans now are feeling like, hey, man, we're going to take 2 players in the first round. We're going to do this type of stuff. We're going to work in the second round. We got to have to figure it out. But it's all shaking up. It's getting exciting as players are moving out. Players are coming in. The Pelicans get more firepower and a younger Jordan Poole to mix with Zion and Trey Murphy. That's a positive. Love to see the Saddiq Bey picking up. Love the fact that they acquired the 40th pick in the second round. They got a second round pick now. We can get one of those guys. Pelicans looking good, looking real good, looking good. So anyway, with that being said, y'all put it in the comments section below and tell me how you feel about the trade. How do you guys feel about it? Tell me in the comments section. Let me know. Is this a good trade? Do you like the fact that Jordan Poole is here? Y'all let me know. I know it's an application where some people could, if you want to tell me AQ, you can play the 1 or whatever. Listen, man, this is, in my estimation, this is a solid move. Getting McCollum out. Kelly was they were attractive contracts because they were 1-year deals that fall off the books. We know CJ McCollum was making $30 million, after this season, 30 plus million, 33 million. You had Kelly making what, 12 something, whatever it was, 14 million or whatever the case may be. So what the Wizards were looking for was just to kind of get an opportunity to have some, get cap space here for a young team. But for the Pelicans, getting these veterans mean this team wants to compete right away. Will it be enough? With today, the Pelicans make a solid move in the trade to move CJ out. Shout out to CJ McCollum and Kelly Olynyk for their service with the Pelicans. It was a very interesting couple of years. It didn't go where we thought it was supposed to go, but you can see the fingerprints of Troy Weaver and Joe Dumars starting to move this stuff here around. So with that being said, let me get on up out of here. I appreciate y'all for listening. Hit that damn like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future content. And by all means, feel free to leave comments in the comments section below of how you feel about this trade. I'm Big Q. Shout out to DC and Lex. I'm holla. And you guys, shout out to the flock. I'm holla at y'all on the next one. Much love. Go Pels. Peace.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.